March 2002, eastern Afghanistan, 8,000 feet above sea level. The United States launched one of the largest ground offensives since Vietnam, and almost no one reported on it. Operation Anaconda. 17 days, 8 Americans killed. Between 500 and 1,000 Taliban and Al-Qaeda fighters dug into a single mountain valley. Every intelligence estimate was wrong. Every helicopter that went in got shot. And 2 men earned the Medal of Honor in a single firefight on a single mountain peak. The American public watched the news and heard almost nothing. This is what actually happened. It's early 2002. The Taliban have been pushed out of Kabul. Kandahar has fallen. U.S. commanders believe the Afghan campaign is nearly over. Then the intelligence reports start coming in. The Shah-i-Kot Valley, a high mountain valley about 90 miles south of Kabul, is filling with fighters. Senior Taliban commanders, Al-Qaeda foreign fighters, heavy weapons, fortified positions on ridge lines that control every approach into the valley below. The plan is called Operation Anaconda. It's designed as a hammer and anvil. Afghan militia forces backed by American advisors come in from the north and west. The 101st Airborne and 10th Mountain Division air assault in from the east. Squeeze the valley. Kill or capture everyone inside. On paper, the operation lasts 3 days. Clean. The planners don't know that the Taliban know they're coming. They don't know that every landing zone has already been registered for mortar fire. The CH-47s go in before dawn on March 2nd. The moment the first chalk of soldiers hits the ground, they take fire. Not sporadic, opportunistic fire, coordinated, pre-planned fire from multiple directions. Machine guns, RPGs, and mortars. These fighters didn't run when they heard helicopters. They waited. The 10th Mountains Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 87th Infantry lands directly into an ambush. Before they establish a perimeter, they're taking casualties. An Apache rolls in to suppress the ridgeline and takes multiple RPG hits before pulling out. By mid-morning on the first day, the operation is already off script. The Afghan militia force that was supposed to seal the northern escape route never advances. Their commander stops his men at the valley entrance. The hammer never swings. What was supposed to be a 3-day operation becomes a 17-day mountain battle with an enemy that outnumbers every estimate, in terrain that cuts helicopter performance by 30%, against fighters who have had weeks to prepare. Air Force combat controllers embedded with the ground forces direct airstrikes around the clock, B-52s, A-10s, AC-130 gunships. The fire support is relentless, but the valley absorbs it. The Taliban are in caves, fortified stone positions behind ridge lines that block every blast radius. On March 4th, things get worse. A Navy SEAL reconnaissance team is attempting to reach a peak called Takur Ghar, elevation 10,469 feet, to establish an observation post overlooking the valley. Their MH-47 is cleared to land on the summit. What nobody knows: 40 Taliban fighters are dug in on that peak. They've been there for weeks. The helicopter flares to land. Petty Officer Neil Roberts is near the rear ramp. The aircraft takes an RPG. The pilots fight to keep it in the air. Roberts falls from the ramp. He's alone on the peak. The crew manages to crash land the damaged helicopter 2 miles away. Then they do the only thing they can. They go back for him. 3 separate rescue attempts go in over the next 3 hours. The first, a SEAL team, fights toward Roberts' position. In the chaos, SEAL Britt Slabinski holds the high ground against repeated assault, dragging wounded teammates to cover under direct fire. He receives the Medal of Honor 16 years later. A second rescue force lands directly on Takur Ghar, believing it's been cleared. It hasn't. In that firefight, Air Force Tech Sergeant John Chapman clears 2 enemy bunkers alone before being shot. His teammates believe he's dead. They extract under fire. He's not dead, Chapman regains consciousness. Alone on the peak, surrounded by Taliban, he keeps fighting. Drone footage captured 18 minutes later shows him engaging enemy until he is killed. John Chapman receives the Medal of Honor posthumously in 2018, the first airman to receive it since Vietnam. Both Medals of Honor from Operation Anaconda came from a single mountain peak in a single morning. The battle ends on March 18th. Between 500 and 800 enemy fighters killed, 8 Americans dead, 82 wounded, the 10th Mountain Division, the 101st Airborne, the 75th Rangers, Navy SEALs, Air Force CCT and PJs, 160th SOAR aviators, who flew in and out of that valley under fire every single day for 17 days. The post-operation reviews are damning. Intelligence underestimated the enemy by a factor of 5. Command and control between conventional and special operations forces had nearly broken down on day 1. The reforms that came out of Anaconda, integrated JTAC embedding, unified command networks, persistent ISR, are the foundation of every American operation that followed. The Roberts Ridge timeline wasn't fully declassified until 2005. John Chapman's story wasn't confirmed until 2016, when the Air Force reviewed drone footage from the peak. The war was everywhere in the news. The battles were nowhere. If you want the Roberts Ridge story in full, that video is right here. Subscribe if this is the history you want to see. There's more where this came from.